Imagine this. You're standing in front of the mirror one morning, and the man looking back at you doesn't quite feel like the man you remember. Your energy isn't the same. Nights are broken by trips to the bathroom. And when it comes to intimacy, your body doesn't always respond the way your mind wants it to. Does that sound familiar? It can feel like your strength, your masculinity, even your confidence is slowly slipping away, and no one warned you this would happen. The truth is, after 60, a man's body goes through changes so subtle at first that they're easy to dismiss. Testosterone, the very hormone that drives vitality, begins to fall. Circulation weakens. The prostate quietly enlarges, pressing on your bladder, stealing your sleep, and affecting your sexual function. What was once natural and effortless now becomes frustrating, uncertain, and at times even embarrassing. Many men tell me it feels as though their body has betrayed them, leaving them anxious and wondering if this is simply the new normal. Science backs this up. In 2021, a study published by the National Institute on Aging revealed that more than half of men over 60 experience some degree of erectile dysfunction, often tied directly to declining testosterone and prostate enlargement. This isn't just about sex, it's about your energy, your mood, your ability to live fully. And yet, most conversations around it remain hidden, as if silence will somehow ease the weight of it. But here's the hopeful part. Your story doesn't have to end here. The silent thief of male vitality can be slowed, even reversed, with choices that don't involve expensive pills or invasive procedures. In fact, many of the solutions are already within your reach in the foods you eat, in the small habits you practice each day, and in knowing what to avoid before it chips further away at your strength. Over the next few minutes, I'll show you how the very things in your kitchen, your daily routine, even the way you move and rest, can become powerful allies in restoring energy, protecting your prostate, and bringing back confidence where you need it most. Because the truth is, after 60, your body still has an incredible capacity to heal, to adapt, and to thrive if you give it the right tools. And that journey starts right here. Most men think of the prostate as nothing more than a small gland that sometimes causes trouble with urination. They imagine it as a plumbing issue, an inconvenience of age. But the reality is far deeper and far more personal. When the prostate enlarges, it does more than press against the bladder. It robs you of energy. It interrupts your sleep with constant bathroom trips, and it quietly undermines your sexual vitality. Think about those nights when you wake 3, maybe 4 times, shuffling in the dark, returning to bed, only to lie awake staring at the ceiling. That fatigue builds up day after day, making mornings heavy and afternoons sluggish. Over time, the frustration seeps into every part of life. Your work, your relationships, your sense of being yourself. The prostate, though small, has an outsized influence on your manhood. And the connection to sexual health is undeniable. When the prostate grows larger, it disrupts the flow of blood and nerve signals to the penis. Erections become weaker, harder to sustain, sometimes impossible. Intimacy can start to feel like a battle you didn't sign up for. Many men don't realize that what they dismiss as a bathroom issue is also the hidden cause of their declining sexual confidence. The medical community has been sounding the alarm. A 2022 review from the Mayo Clinic emphasized that benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, is not just a urinary condition, but one that directly impacts erectile function and overall quality of life. In plain words, your prostate health and your sexual health are inseparable. When one suffers, the other follows. The good news is that nature provides ways to protect this overlooked gland. Certain foods contain compounds that calm inflammation inside the prostate. Daily habits can reduce the constant pressure it places on your bladder and restore more restful sleep. And by making these changes, men often discover that their energy and sexual function begin to rebound as well. So as we move forward, remember this. Protecting your prostate isn't just about fewer bathroom trips. It's about reclaiming the strength, confidence, and intimacy that make life after 60 not just livable, but deeply fulfilling. And it all begins with understanding just how much this small gland truly matters. Let's be honest, when erections start to fade, it can feel like a part of your identity is slipping away with them. Many men describe it as frustrating, even humiliating. You want to respond, but your body doesn't seem to cooperate. This isn't just about sex. It's about energy, vitality, and the confidence that carries you through daily life. At the heart of the problem is circulation. Erections are nothing more than blood flow. When the arteries are clear and strong, blood rushes into the penis and stays there, creating firmness and stamina. But after 60, those same blood vessels are often narrowed or stiffened by years of cholesterol buildup, high blood pressure, or diabetes. The result is predictable. Less blood in, weaker erections out. And circulation affects far more than intimacy. Poor blood flow means your muscles tire faster, your heart works harder, and your energy dwindles throughout the day. You may notice that what once felt easy, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, even enjoying a walk, now leaves you winded. The body is telling you something. When circulation falters, everything suffers. For many men, this decline creeps in so slowly that it's easy to ignore. A misdirection here, a tired afternoon there, until one day you realize your spark has dimmed. That sense of being fully alive, fully present, feels like a memory instead of a daily reality. Here's what's happening under the hood. The penile arteries are smaller than the ones feeding your heart, so even a thin film of plaque can choke flow where you need it most. The inner lining of those arteries, the endothelium, releases nitric oxide, a tiny messenger that tells vessels to relax and fill. When blood sugar runs high, pressure stays elevated, or you smoke, that lining becomes irritated and stingy with nitric oxide. Stress adds another squeeze. Adrenaline tightens vessels and pulls blood away from the pelvis. Belly fat fans the flames with chemical signals that stiffen arteries and dull nerve responses, while nightly bathroom trips shatter deep sleep, nudging testosterone lower and leaving morning erections rare. Nerves matter too. Years of inflammation from an enlarged prostate can make the pelvic floor clamp down defensively. That tension can trap blood from staying in the penis long enough, leading to brief, unreliable erections and a lingering sense of fatigue afterward. None of this is destiny. Arteries can regain flexibility, endothelial cells can become generous with nitric oxide again, and pelvic muscles can relearn balance strong enough to hold, relaxed enough to allow flow. When circulation improves, men often notice an early sign long before a bedroom victory. A steadier pulse of energy during the day, clearer focus, a lighter step on the stairs, and the quiet return of spontaneous morning firmness. In a moment, I'll show you how everyday choices, what goes on your plate, how you breathe and move, the way you wind down at night, can open these pathways again. No gimmicks, no harsh stimulants. Just practical levers that restore blood flow, protect the prostate, and give your body permission to feel like yours again. Now that we've seen how circulation and prostate health quietly chip away at male vitality, it's time to shine a light on the habits and foods that make the situation far worse. These hidden enemies often sit right on our dinner plates, or weave their way into our daily routines, and over time, they tighten the very noose around energy, erections, and confidence. Red meat, for example, when eaten in excess, leaves behind saturated fat that clogs arteries and inflames tissues. Fried foods only add fuel to the fire, coating the bloodstream with oxidized oils that stiffen vessel walls. Alcohol, while it might relax you for a moment, disrupts hormone production and weakens the very signals that drive sexual response. And cigarettes, those thin sticks of smoke, are notorious for shrinking arteries, starving the penis of the blood it needs to rise and stay strong. Even too much caffeine, especially late in the day, robs you of the deep sleep where testosterone is made, leaving your mornings empty of energy and firmness. But it's not only about what you eat or drink. Inactivity is another thief. Hours spent sitting allow blood to pool in the pelvis, starving muscles and veins of healthy circulation. Stress adds another layer. When cortisol, the stress hormone, stays high for too long, it chips away at testosterone and keeps blood vessels tight, as if your body is bracing for a fight that never comes. Over time, the result is predictable. weaker erections, constant fatigue, and a prostate that remains irritated and inflamed. Many men don't realize that these enemies often work together. Imagine ending the day with fried food, a couple of beers, scrolling on the couch late into the night. Your arteries stiffen, your hormones dip, your sleep shortens, and by morning, you feel older than your years. That cycle, repeated week after week, accelerates decline far faster than age alone. Here's the good news. Every enemy you remove makes space for healing to begin. Each skipped cigarette, each night of deep sleep, each meal without fried grease or heavy alcohol. These are small acts of rebellion against decline. And when you clear out what harms you, your body becomes far more responsive to what helps you. Because what comes next is the turning point. Nature has given us foods that don't just fill the stomach, but actually open blood vessels, soothe the prostate, and restore the strength men fear they've lost forever. And when you understand how to use them, the path back to vitality becomes clearer than you ever imagined. If the habits we just talked about are the enemies quietly sabotaging your strength, then think of these next foods as your secret soldiers, silent, powerful, and waiting patiently in your kitchen. They don't come in shiny packaging or promise instant miracles, but when used consistently, they nourish the very systems that age tries to wear down: your blood flow, your testosterone, and your prostate. Let's start with a small but mighty seed: pumpkin seeds. These are loaded with zinc, a mineral crucial for testosterone production and sperm health. Just a handful a day can help your body maintain hormone levels and reduce inflammation in the prostate. Studies have shown that men with higher zinc intake are less likely to suffer from enlarged prostates or frequent nighttime urination. How to use them? Buy raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds. Roast them lightly at home if you prefer a crunch. Sprinkle them over oatmeal or mix them into yogurt with a touch of honey and cinnamon. Delicious, masculine fuel in every spoonful. Then, there's oily fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which help keep blood vessels flexible and reduce inflammation. Omega-3 seconds support both heart health and erectile function by boosting circulation to every part of your body, including the one you're most worried about. When shopping, choose wild-caught if possible, and look for fish packed in olive oil instead of soybean oil. It's a cleaner fat with added heart benefits. Grilling or baking is best. Pair it with steamed greens and a squeeze of lemon to cut any fishiness and enhance flavor. Watermelon is another overlooked hero. It contains a compound called citrulline, which the body converts into arginine, a building block for nitric oxide, the very substance that relaxes blood vessels and allows blood to flow into the penis. Some scientists call watermelon nature's Viagra, not because it causes sudden changes, but because it supports the natural process of blood flow over time. Chill fresh watermelon cubes and enjoy them as a midday snack. Or blend them with a squeeze of lime for a refreshing summer tonic that actually helps your circulation. Don't forget tomatoes, especially when cooked. These are rich in lycopene, a potent antioxidant known to shrink and calm an inflamed prostate. In fact, research has found that men who consume cooked tomatoes regularly have a significantly lower risk of prostate enlargement. For best results, cook tomatoes down into a sauce with garlic and olive oil. Lycopene becomes more available when heated, and the oil helps your body absorb it. Use it as a base for whole grain pasta, or as a rich topping for grilled vegetables. And finally, let's talk about avocados and berries. Avocados provide healthy fats and vitamin E, which improve blood flow and nerve sensitivity, important for both erections and sensation. Berries like blueberries and raspberries are rich in flavonoids, natural compounds that support circulation and reduce artery stiffness. Try slicing half an avocado onto whole grain toast with a pinch of sea salt and chili flakes. Pair it with a side of fresh berries, and you've got a breakfast that feeds your hormones, your heart, and your manhood, all in one plate. What's powerful about these foods isn't just their nutrients, it's how easily they fit into daily life. No pills, no side effects, just real ingredients, with centuries of wisdom and modern science behind them. And when you combine them with movement, rest, and a little patience, they begin to rewrite the story of aging. Up next, we'll explore how the simple habits you build each day, how you walk, breathe, sleep, and show up in your own life, can either unlock your body's full potential or quietly close the door on it. You've heard the phrase, "You are what you eat," but let me tell you something just as powerful: you are what you repeat. Because even the most healing foods can't outwork a lifestyle that slowly pulls your body in the opposite direction. The truth is, your daily habits are either restoring your strength or quietly erasing it. Let's begin with something simple, but often overlooked: walking. Not powerlifting, not running marathons. Just walking briskly for 30 minutes a day. Studies show that regular walking improves blood flow to the pelvis, boosts testosterone levels, and reduces the pressure on an inflamed prostate. It's free, it's low impact, and it gets your heart, your legs, and your libido moving in the right direction. Now add in pelvic floor exercises, commonly known as Kegels. Yes, men can and should do them too. These small movements strengthen the muscles that control urination and support erections. When these muscles are weak, blood leaks out of the penis too quickly. When they're strong and responsive, erections become firmer and longer lasting. Then there's sleep, the unsung hero of male health. During deep sleep, your body produces the highest surge of testosterone. But if you're waking up multiple times a night to urinate, scrolling your phone in bed, or tossing with anxiety, your hormone levels suffer silently. Make your bedroom a sanctuary. Cool, dark, quiet, and screen-free. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. This rhythm tells your body it's safe to restore. And don't forget about stress. Chronic stress pumps out cortisol, the very hormone that opposes testosterone. It narrows blood vessels, drains your energy, and makes you feel disconnected from yourself. Breathing deeply just 5 minutes a day can flip your nervous system from fight or flight to rest and repair. Some men do this by meditating. Others by simply sitting quietly with their coffee, eyes closed, breathing slowly. The method doesn't matter. The stillness does. Finally, there's one more habit most men overlook: regular, healthy sexual activity. I'm not talking about performance or pressure. I'm talking about gentle, consistent intimacy, physical connection without fear or shame. It increases blood flow, strengthens the pelvic muscles, and helps regulate testosterone. Even solo stimulation, when done mindfully, can keep the system healthy and responsive. When you combine these habits, movement, rest, stillness, and touch, you're not just being healthy, you're sending a message to your body that it's still alive, still powerful, still worth taking care of. And that message, it changes everything. Because what comes next isn't about preventing decline. It's about building a new foundation for strength. You've cleared the enemies. You've welcomed the right foods. Now you're reinforcing that with daily rituals that support your entire system from the inside out. In the final part of this journey, I'll share a message I believe every man over 60 deserves to hear, one that could reshape how you see aging, strength, and your place in this world. Let me tell you something that most doctors won't say, but every man over 60 needs to hear. You are not broken. Slower mornings, weaker erections, lower energy. These are not signs that your best days are behind you. They are signals. Gentle, persistent reminders from your body that it still wants to work with you, not against you. The truth is, we've been conditioned to think aging is a slow surrender. That once your hair grays or your hormones dip, you're supposed to quietly step aside. Less present in your relationships, less passionate in your body, less confident in yourself. But that is a lie sold by silence, reinforced by shame. You have the power to change the story. Because what you've heard today isn't just information, it's a roadmap. You now know the real causes behind the decline: poor circulation, inflammation, hormone imbalance, stress. And you've learned that the most effective tools aren't found in a bottle or a commercial. but in your kitchen, your habits, your breath, your consistency. I've seen men in their 60 seconds, 70 seconds, even 80 seconds regain control, restoring their energy, sleeping through the night, enjoying intimacy again, and walking taller because they feel like themselves again. Not because they turned back time, but because they turned toward their health instead of away from it. You can be that man. It begins with small decisions, trading the processed food for real nourishment, walking instead of sitting, sleeping deeply instead of scrolling late, listening to your body instead of ignoring it. Each of these choices is a vote for your strength. And as those choices add up, something beautiful happens. You stop measuring life by what you've lost and start measuring it by what you're gaining back. Energy, connection, confidence, dignity. So if this message stirred something in you, don't ignore it. That stirring is your body's way of saying, yes, I'm still here. If this video helped you, share it with someone you care about. And if you're ready to take action, even just one small step today, leave a comment below and let others know they're not alone. Because you're not. And this chapter can be your comeback. One day, one choice, one breath at a time.